let's give ourselves a little bit more practice with logarithms. So just as a little bit of review, let's evaluate log base 2 of 8. What does this evaluate to? Well, it's asking us, or it will evaluate to the power that I have to, or the exponent that I have to raise our base to, that I have to raise 2 to get to 8. So 2 to the first power is 2, 2 to the second power is 4, 2 to the third power is 8. So this right over here is going to be equal to 3. Fair enough, we did examples like that in the last video. Let's do something a little bit more interesting. What is, and I'll color code it, what is log base 8? What is log base 8 of 2? Now this is interesting. I'll give you a few seconds to think about it. Well, we're asking ourselves, or this will evaluate to, the exponent that I have to raise 8 to get to 2. So let's think about that in another way. So we could say 8 to some power, and that exponent that I'm raising 8 to is essentially what this logarithm would evaluate to. 8 to some power is going to be equal to 2. Is going to be equal to 2. Well, if 2 to the third power is 8, 8 to the 1/3 power is equal to 2. So x is equal to 1/3. 8 to the 1/3 power is equal to 2. Or you could say the cube root of 8 is 2. So in this case, x is 1/3. This logarithm right over here will evaluate to 1/3. Fascinating. Let's mix it up a little bit more. Let's say we had the log base 2, instead of 8, let's put a 1/8. 1/8 right over here. So I'll give you a few seconds to think about that. Well, it's asking us, or this will evaluate to, the exponent that I have to raise 2 to get to 1/8. So if we set that this is equal to x, we're essentially saying 2 to the x power is equal to 1/8. Is equal to 1/8. Well, we know 2 to the third power. Let me write this down. We already know that 2 to the third power is equal to 8. If we want to get to 1/8, which is the reciprocal of 8, we just have to raise 2 to the -3 power. 2 to the -3 power is 1 over 2 to the third power, which is the same thing as 1 over 8. So, if we're asking ourselves, what exponent do we have to raise 2 to get to 1/8? Well, we have to raise it to the -3 power. So x is equal to -3. This logarithm evaluates to -3. Now let's really, really mix it up. What would be the log base 8 of 1/2? What does this evaluate to? Let me clean this up so that we have some space to work with. So as always, we're saying what power do I have to raise 8 to get to 1/2? So let's think about that a little bit. We already know that 8 to the 1/3 power is equal to 2. If we want the reciprocal of 2 right over here, we have to just raise 8 to the -1/3. So let me write that down. 8 to the -1/3 power is going to be equal to 1 over 8 to the 1/3 power. And we already know the cube root of 8, or 8 to the 1/3 power, is equal to 2. This is equal to 1/2. So the log base 8 of 1/2 is equal to, well, what power I have to raise 8 to get to 1/2 is -1/3. Equal to -1/3. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did.